You know you've got that shiny new Jeep, but let's be real, it's a pavement princess right now. It's time to protect your investment. Obviously, this won't protect against all scratches, rocks, etc., but this really helps a lot. I'm your guide to a new level of paint protection, and we're here at Speed Demon Wraps to show you how to install a full trail armor wrap kit on a Jeep Rubicon. This isn't your average flimsy vinyl. This stuff is made with a thick vinyl and an even thicker laminate for serious rock chip and scratch defense. We're going to walk through this step by step, including all the awkward parts and mistakes, because that's where the real learning happens. My partner in crime, DJ, is already getting started. Let's get to it. The setup. Before we get our hands dirty, let's talk about a few things. First, this is not a speed race. We estimate about 1 hour per side, and that's a good pace. Rushing will lead to trapped water, air bubbles, and a lot of cursing. Second, this is a semi-permanent installation. The adhesive is strong. This isn't some cheap sticker you can just peel off. You'll need heat to remove it, and any leftover residue comes off easily with a commercial adhesive remover. Don't be that guy who tries to rip it off with brute force. It won't end well. What you'll need: your trail armor vinyl kit, a clean workspace, no dirt, no dust, no excuses, the magical soap and water mixture. We're using 6 drops of Dawn dish soap per quart of water. Don't be a hero and eyeball it. Too much soap and it won't stick. Too little and you can't reposition it. It's a delicate balance. Just kidding, but 6 drops is ideal. A high-quality 3M Squeegee. The cheap ones will scratch your new vinyl. A heat gun. While a real heat gun is preferred, a hairdryer will do. An infrared thermometer, while not required, it is highly recommended for noobs. A utility knife with a fresh blade. Don't cheap out on this. Clean microfiber towels. A pro installer will tell you this is the most important part of the job. Your vinyl is only as good as the surface it's sticking to. DJ started with a meticulous cleaning. He's already given the Jeep a thorough wash, including all the edges. Then he does a final rub down with water and a microfiber cloth to get rid of any lingering wax, road film, or fingerprints. If the surface isn't squeaky clean, you'll feel it. Literally. Do the squeaky finger test. If your finger glides smoothly, there's still crap on the surface. When it squeaks, you're good to go. Next, he's laying out the vinyl pieces. You'll get them just like this, on a vinyl backing. Now for the fun part, working out the water. DJ is starting from the center and pushing the water out toward the edges. Look closely. He's using a 50% overlap with the squeegee at a slight angle. This method methodically drives the water out without trapping air or water in the middle. The goal is to get as much of that fluid out as possible. Dealing with imperfections, no matter how good you are, you're going to get some air or water bubbles. It's just a fact of life. This is where patience comes in. DJ is going back over the panel, looking for any trapped water or air bubbles. You can see them as little distortions in the reflection. And a quick note on the Rubicon graphics. See how the letters are kind of visible through the vinyl? Once it's set, the edges will be crisp, and you'll be able to read the letters loud and clear. If you don't want to see them, you should have removed them beforehand. But let's be honest, you paid for the Rubicon, you want to show it off. The heat set and trimming. Once you've got all the water and bubbles out, it's time to heat set it. This is the final step where the adhesive fully bonds to the paint, giving you that permanent finish. The right temperature. Your goal is to get the vinyl to approximately 215 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't just point the heat gun at it and hope for the best. Move it constantly and evenly. This is where your infrared thermometer comes in. Just point and shoot to check the temperature. No trapped water. Here's a pro tip. If there's still water trapped underneath, it'll turn to steam and create a nasty bubble that can be a pain to get out. This is why we worked so hard to get all the moisture out in the last step. Taming the edges. You'll notice the edges might not want to stay down at first. They're like that rebellious teenager. Sometimes all it takes is a little heat and a gentle press. That's it. Simple, right? Well, sometimes you'll have to do it once or twice, or, 5 or 6 times. You might have noticed that DJ hasn't been using an infrared temperature gauge this whole time. Is this a do as I say, not as I do moment? The one thing he's got is a little bit of experience under his belt. He started rapping in 2006, so he typically feels the vinyl as he's heating it. He needs to get the vinyl as hot as he can without burning it. Otherwise, it might not stick as well as it should. The key takeaway is that if it will burn your hand, it will burn the vinyl. That's old school, almost senior citizen, in fact. Grr, that hurts. Breathe. Pretend it's yoga for your Jeep wrap. Stretch, press, and repeat. You're almost at the finish line. Now, this is your last chance to chase out any sneaky little water bubbles. If you keep going without fixing them, the water will just hang out in there like an uninvited guest until it dries out on its own. And honestly, it's not as dramatic as it sounds. Most of the time, it disappears quietly over time. But, big but here. If you've got a Michigan Great Lake situation under there, grab a needle. Gently poke through the wrap, skin only, not the paint, and let that lake drain. It's like popping a tiny water balloon. Trust me, it's more satisfying than scary. And hey, if you somehow made it this far without a heat gun, well, congratulations on your optimism. But you're going to need either a heat gun or a small torch to set this properly, especially on cold metal. Without heat, the wrap won't stick like it's supposed to, and we don't want floppy trail armor on your Jeep. This trail armor wrap kit is custom designed for your Jeep Wrangler, and yes, it fits the Sahara too. So, no excuses. Get that heat, press out those bubbles, and show off your Jeep like the rock-crawling beast it was meant to be. DJ is going to trim the excess vinyl on the bottom of the rocker panel. Here's a trick. He's putting the squeegee between the vehicle and the razor blade. This protects the paint so he never actually cuts the Jeep itself. It's a simple trick, but it saves your paint. And just like that, you've got a vehicle ready for the trail. This stuff is tough. It won't stop a full-on dent from a wreck, but it will save you from those ugly pinstripes, from branches, and the annoying rock chips that will eventually turn into rust. Wow, this thing looks great. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the perfect way to protect your investment. A huge thanks to DJ for the wizardry. So there you have it, folks. From all of us here at Speed Demon Wraps, thank you for watching, and happy installs. Now go get your ride dirty. It's a Jeep after all.